This is Will Buchanan on a very humid morning here on the Walk for Liberty on this first day of fall, September 22nd, 2008, day 142. My skin is actually sticky from all the humidity. Kind of reminds me of late summer mornings from back when I was growing up in Indiana. They sent out both a reporter and a photographer to cover me, and Tanner, the reporter, ended up walking with me for a bit as he was interviewing me, which makes him the 7th guest walker on the Walk for Liberty. Speaking of which, it seems one might be coming on soon. Today, Brooke bought a see-through window shade, which she purchased to use on the driver's side window of the Subaru to block some of the harsher sun rays that come through. As she was opening up the package, she noticed that it said on it, "Future State Highway 14 bypass area." No, that's not really what it said. It says, "Certain states regulate the use of window coverings on motor vehicles. Check with state authorities for conformity." You will comply, citizen. But other than the obvious question of what business does the government have to tell you what you can or can't use in your own car, and that you should ultimately be the one to bear the responsibility for the safety and control of your vehicle while you're driving it, and therefore should bear the responsibility if you damage someone else's person or property with it, what are the more practical ramifications of the government intruding on your personal liberties in this way? Government laws don't necessarily have to have anything to do with truth, and because they're one size fits all, they also can't account for special circumstances. As one example, let's say there was a study done which found a correlation between the use of window shades and a higher incidence of motor vehicle accidents. Now, if you know anything about statistics and causality, you know that that doesn't necessarily mean that the window shades are responsible for the higher incidence of motor vehicle accidents. As one simple counterexample, it could just be that people who decide to use window shades in their car are sloppier drivers than non-window shade drivers. And of course, those people are still going to be sloppy drivers, whether or not they're barred from using window shades in their cars. But the truth doesn't have to matter to lawmakers or to citizen groups agitating for certain laws. So let's say they do manage to get their anti-window shade law passed. You had been thinking about getting a window shade for your car to help when the sun is low in the sky, but now you decide not to because you don't want to get ticketed by a cop who's looking to fill his quota. So one day you're driving and the sun is at just the right angle in the sky, causing glare, and you fail to see an approaching car as you're about to pull out, and you hit it. I wonder what would have happened instead if the government hadn't passed that law, threatening you with punishment if you decided to use a window shade. At this point, you might be thinking, well, that was a bad law. We need more studies. We need more research. We need better laws. The problem with that line of thinking, though, is that there will never be one ultimate set of laws which accounts for all circumstances and all possible exceptions. There will always be different people with different personalities in different situations with different interactions. And no set of laws will ever account for all of that. So, what's the answer? Actually, it's quite a simple one. Each person should be able to live their life the way they want, but should also be responsible for their own actions. And if they do harm another person or their property, they should restitute the party or parties involved. That's simple enough, isn't it? I walked almost 21.2 miles. Here's my GPS position. This is Will Buchanan for Amazon.walkforliberty.com, signing off. Is this mailbox postal service approved?